This is TMI, and we are teeing of this discussion with what transpired in the Edo State Election Petition Tribunal that saw APC coming out victorious because the case of PDPS, some of them were struck out. They're saying that it lacks merit or due to one thing or the other. That's the reason why people have been asking questions. What happened? How come everything presented by the PDP was thrown out? Or most of them, not all of them rather, some of them were thrown off, and that led to the victory of the APC. But how is this going to affect the political permutation in Edo State? With me here in the studio, I have a political analyst, political affairs commentator, a politician, and entrepreneur. Join me to welcome Elvis Brown. Elvis, it's a pleasure to have you join us in the studio.
Thank you very much, Wilson.
Right.
Good to see you. Yeah.
You get to hear put food on the table, you will not see or hear about these things happening. Yes, voice of the masses. Join me to welcome Okoro Osahon Obaye. Welcome to TMI.
Good morning, Wilson. Good morning.
Right. That's very close to me. He is a legal practitioner, public affairs commentator. Join me to welcome Barrister Emmanuel Obakbolo.
Pretty good morning, Nigeria. Good morning, Wilson.
All right. It's for us to have this touch of, the law, or what the law says about XYZ. Join us via Zoom. Yes, doing Benin City. He is a political analyst, public affairs commentator, and entrepreneur, a politician, a strong member of the PDP. Join me to welcome Esosa Ewe. Thank you so much for joining us virtually, Esosa.
Good morning, my brother. Good morning, my brothers in the studio. Good morning, Nigerians.
Well,
Thank you.
You're welcome, Esosa. As you can see, we have a full blend. Yes, APC, PDP, and Labour, right? You're not making a mistake here, so it's quite balanced. And we have a legal practitioner to give us, that legal touch in this particular discussion. I want to start off from Esosa Ewe for, a very good reason. Well, Esosa, I know you can hear me loud and clear. What do you feel about the judgment before we dive into, the misgiving you might have about it and other things coming up in course of the discussion? Esosa, over now to you.
Thank you so much, my brother Wilson. Good morning once again for having me in the studio. I'm sure you would have seen the reactions that has trailed the controversial outcome of the Edo Election Petitions Tribunal, which we strongly believe as a party and as a people that it did not reflect the ethos, the ethics, the spirit and ideals of the electoral act of the Independent National Electoral Commission, the body constitutionally responsible for the conduct of elections in Nigeria. And because of that, you would have seen that there's a grave silence in the city of Benin. There's a grave silence in Edo. And beyond that, there has been a whole lot of reactions from the local and foreign stage, even reactions from the U.S. mission here in Nigeria, has said that the judgment appeared to be controversial and has become a subject for contestation and correction at an appellate court, and that it will monitor closely the appeal process to ensure that the judgments that will be flowing out from the appeal will not only be seen to be justiciable, but be seen to be justiciable judgment that will be generally acceptable, that will be credible, that will be fair, that will be equitable, and a kind of judgment that will be able to, that we can use as references for future events and all that. So we we appreciate the tribunal for what it has done. We believe that we believe that the tribunal could have done better, but why it did what it did, we do not know actually. But then we strongly believe that judgment, the outcome from the tribunal, it was not fair, it was not objective, it was not credible, it was not justiciable. And because of that, we would have to move beyond the tribunal because we still have about 2 legs to go. And thank God for that, for those windows. So we strongly believe that the appellate court will do the needful to ensure that this controversial outcome that has generated a series of reactions is corrected and that the matter is put in proper perspective.
I will definitely come back to you. Now let's take a look at what Okoro Osahan Obaraye will need to say about this. There's a reason why I'm doing this deliberately. So Okoro Osahan Obaraye, you've heard him. He's saying that even the international community, they are picking out stones, so to speak, from this particular judgment. They say that they're going to scrutinize it. That to them is like something is amiss. Do your part, you won. Go ahead.
Thank you so much, Brother Wilson. First of all, I want to congratulate my party and my brother Monday Okpewolo and my older brother, the Deputy Governor of Edo State, Delco, for success at the tribunal. Truth be said, my brother, you know, the people of Edo have spoken. And what happened at the tribunal was the affirmation of what happened in Edo. You know, sometimes what we need to do about ourselves is to first of all examine ourselves, what we said 20 years ago, what we said 10 years ago, what we said today, and what we're going to say tomorrow. I remember vividly during Obasanjo's second tenure when he won 4+4. I lost my unit. It was on Saturday. On a Sunday, you called me. They were still compiling the result. And when I saw that, they've won, and I calculated it, I came to this studio. And the first thing I did was to congratulate the former governor of Edo State. I did that immediately. You can go to your archives. And I also wished him well. When the tribunal came, I did not speak about it again because I know the people have spoken. What the tribunal needs to do is to maybe dot the I's and cross the T's. On this second election of Okpewolo, I went to the drawing board to say, how did I lose it? Where did I lose it? I said, okay, this was how I did it. On this second election, I again now delivered my unit. And in my center, delivered about 2 other units again to it. On a Sunday, I came to this studio. And I also saw PDP winning. That pride, that we must win, we must get it all, we can never lose, entered them, no congratulations. Forgetting that before the polls, the home was already destroyed. I think there are things you sometimes when you tell people, they will feel maybe you are castigating it or trying to blow the trumpet. How would PDP have won that election when their house was divided? Election you didn't win. And those people talking now that we are supposed to be asking, where is your unit result? You lost your unit result, you are waiting for appeal to come change the issue in favor of you. When people were decamping en masse, when the traditional institution went against everything working, when you are saying that you think you have these people, you will have them. And it not ended that it was not like that. You are not speaking Latin to say you are waiting for US government saying, as if we are in America. What is the US saying about the word Edo State, a minute of the Nigerian sphere, waiting for appeal, waiting for this. So first of all, we must tell ourselves the truth. You know, you cannot beat a child and say the child will not cry. We are waiting for them, most of them to come back. The political permutation in Edo, first of all, has changed. The narrative has changed. You can also see, if you are a child of political history in Nigeria, in Edo, you will see that Lucky took it like the first batting, 8 years. And when Lucky wanted to drop the batting, the party had crisis. So the party gave it to a party person, and that party person, the other party went to court, and it had changed to another person. After 8 years, Oshomole wanted to give the batting. He gave it to Obaseki. Obaseki used the batting for 4 years, and there was crisis. He went to party B, and he won. And now want to give the batting to another person. It changed. It's also going to tell you what I was expecting these people to be saying is to plan for the next, not plan for the next 8 years, to see how the batting. You are also, if history is not what you can, because it's always very hard. Even in presidency, if you watch, it's hard. Nigeria, it's just like Ghana. Nigerians, when they watch you 4 years, 8 years, you didn't do it. The 8-year revolution starts. Okay. So to me, instead of trying to say happy, want to waste that much money, all of them you are seeing now, after other options, they are already we retire them politically, both the young ones and the old ones. Okay, calm down now. Calm down. I'll come back to you. If you talk too much, we'll add you to it. We'll retire you. Are you threatening me? Are you threatening me? I will come back to you. Thank you so much.
All right, Elvis, you heard both of them, both the PDP, a member of the PDP, and of course a member of the UPC. I don't know if you've changed, right? You were in Labour. Are you still in Labour?
I'm still in Labour.
Okay, fine. So what do you feel about this scenario?
Well, for me, I think that our position has always been the same. In Nigeria, as it stands today, politicians, let's say over 98% of Nigerian politicians have no actual political value. What we have is manipulative thuggery value. Manipulative thuggery value. Now, if you bring that home, you realize when we are contesting in court, what ASWA is contesting in court is the process, not actually the outcome. Because you see, what we do in Nigeria is that when we have an outcome, we want everyone to forget about the process. And because of that, we will never get it right. Had the system been okay, had the system works, how many politicians today can actually deliver their polling unit? My brother has said he delivered his polling unit. It's a beautiful thing to do so. But in a system that works, it becomes highly difficult for most politicians to achieve. Now that brings us home to the issue of the judgment that has just been delivered. Had the system also works, you would have been able to see the process leading to that judgment that was given by the tribunal. So we cannot say for any reason, for me, that we should keep going in this direction. Let us challenge the process. Let's get this thing right. So that to make the election, the people, not the politicians, the people will decide who governs them. So we can see, use technology, we can see who actually won this election. While waiting for a judge to tell us that, oh, because you could not present your evidence in this manner, you did not win an election. Instead of showing us that, okay, the total vote that were casted, and this is it. The thumbprint that we are seeing, one thumbprint matched 1,000 ballot paper. Take it out. Why can't we have that process? Why are we here talking about the fact that somebody brought an evidence, and you are saying, okay, you did a good job, but maybe the barrister here will help us look into that. But for me, I think that they are gaming the process.
They are gaming the process?
The process are gaming the process. Okay. They understand that we have a very corrupt and substandard process. One of the least in Africa. And so to game it is very easy. I came here last and I told you that the influence of dollar on our polity is crazy. You wouldn't even want to imagine it. How these things are rolled out to influence the decision of the people. But all that can be stopped. The reason they are not stopping is because if you stop it, those who are currently leading the country, Those who are in charge of the head, the elites, the moment you make that system works, they become irrelevant. And those are things I think we should be looking into as that's our position as a party.
All right.
Yes,
All
that's
right.
correct.
I'll come back to you, Elvis Brown. Well, I like calling people from this your sector legal practitioners Barry. You understand? Because it's like all fingers are pointing at you. They're saying judiciary. Whatever happens in the court of the tribunal, the appeal, then the Supreme Court, it is always judiciary. And that is what those citizens are like saying. You heard what they said. So they are gaming the process. So maybe, just maybe, I don't know, maybe the judges' hands, they are tied. Some are saying allegedly because of corruption, kickback, kickfall, dollarization, nationalization, you just name it. As a legal practitioner, what's your stand on this?
We're saying it's unfortunate that we find ourselves where we are today. And in many fora, including this platform, I've said that we don't have political parties in Nigeria. What we have in Nigeria is a gang of fellows who have assembled themselves. And more so, I want to align myself with what the man from Labour Party talked about. And if you look at it, even the purported Labour Party is also a victim of the same game.
We'll talk about that later, not
Yes.
now, not here,
Yes.
not now.
And when you look at the process indeed, it is dangerous for the courts to determine who wins an election. It is dangerous. And that's why, to my mind, I try to discourage going to court after every elections. But unfortunately, the APC have made us to understand that the phrase go to court is not a norm in Nigeria. And we have all accepted it consciously or unconsciously. Like in the judgment, one of the judge did say that the facts of the People's Democratic Party's candidates collapsed at the point of evidence. That was a strong word.
Collapse at the point of evidence.
So you begin to see that what we call system, I refer to it as a style, is deliberate by the politicians. And the essence of all of this style we see the politicians manifest is because we lack political culture. In Nigeria, there is nothing like political culture. And that's why somebody can easily today decamp, witch camp, fly camp, to anywhere he or she likes. Because our politicians of today are egocentric to the extent that if it is not them, it shouldn't happen to another person. 3-point agenda, me, myself, and I, me, my wife, and children. That is just what we see. And the judiciary is also a victim of the style we see today. Dollarization, you cannot remove it from it. Nationalization, you cannot remove it from it. To the extent that every one of us have come to accept that if it is not me, or let me grab my own, I don't know when and how I may have this kind of opportunity again. And that is what is playing all out. We are all guilty. And unfortunately, we have come to accept it as a norm. Judiciary, they are not doing well. The main umpire for elections, what you call them independent, they are not independent because they have been controlled by one man. And that is what we see. Then the people, again, who are so docile. Docility in Nigeria is another style of life just now. At the last election, Edo State, I saw people taking money. Even when I tried to tell them, don't do this. Let me be fair to whoever won that election. Let me be fair. I have said before, and I'm saying it again. I remember on the day of that election, I was here. The day following, I was here. I did say the election was free, fair, but not credible. I did say so. Why? Somebody asked me, Obapolo, you said on air that the election was not credible, but the election was free and fair but not credible. I said yes. He said, why did you say it was not credible? I said the election was monetized. People sold what they call conscience. Collect money, and when you collect money, some say, oh, collect the money, vote your conscience. I ask, conscience that you have sold, how do you not get it back?
I'll come back to you.
So we have a catalog of misbehavior by every one of us.
All right, thank you so much. These are just your openers. Later, we will return after this break. We're going to analyze how strong words they dropped that the PDP collapsed during time of evidence.
At the point of evidence.
At the point of evidence, quite weighty. Anyway, Sosa is going to react to that, but not before this break. We'll be right back. Thank you so much for staying tuned. If you just joined us, this is TMI. We're taking a look at the aftermath of the Edo State Petition Election Tribunal. Here's the effects on the political permutation. Let's move straight to where it is because Barrister Emmanuel Obakwalo brought out one phrase. Some are saying that phrase led to the demolition of, the PDP chances of winning the tribunal, so to speak. Say the collapse in the process of what again?
At the point of
evidence. So, I really wanted to react to that. So there's a total fiasco or breakdown of your party at the point of evidence.
Like I said in my opening statement, that we are very sure and believe strongly that the outcome of these tribunal judgments did not capture the provisions of the Electoral Act of the Independent National Electoral Commission 2022 as amended. Evidence that we provided and the processes we went through to get these evidences were constitutionally backed. We backed up our evidential provisions along the line of the acts of the electoral act of the body. Our provision of evidence along that line. So if you are saying that a candidate alleged irregularities in maybe 300 areas within a particular local government or thereabouts, you do not expect 300 witnesses in that to be provided, because verifiable CTCs, certified true copies, by the election conducting body. You do not necessarily need evidence, oral evidence anymore. And even at that, we had oral evidence. They didn't have evidence. We had oral evidence, and we were able to prove. If you are going to say the burden of proof, we were able to prove with CTCs by the electoral conducting body, signed by INEC. So we presented those things. We presented the beavers machines. We presented the extract. We had documentary evidence, certified true copies by INEC. So I don't see from our witnesses and all that. So I don't know where our case collapsed at the point of evidence. All our evidences are there. We only believe that the tribunal did not take pains to analyze their sittings, did their hearings, then went back to their cocoon. And why would we approach you if we did not trust you to be able to do a thorough job? We trusted that you'll be able to do a thorough job. That is why we approached you as a tribunal to see to the fact that the irregularities that we have alleged going back do a thorough job. So that's why we think that the tribunal may have made itself a fourth respondent, asked questions, answered the same questions asked by it, and then gave a judgment that has become controversial in our country today. And you can see that the matter is raising so many reactions, which is shameful and disgraceful to us as a people and to our public institutions as a tribunal. So we could have opportunities in the world, the golden opportunity to reawaken the hopes and faith of Nigerians in the judicial system and ensure that people begin to redevelop interest and commitment to strengthening the tribunal. But what we're strengthening the judiciary, but what we have seen today is like business as usual, and that's disgraceful to our community as a people, particularly as an institution.
All right, I will come back to you, so I'm going to keep this question for last. There's a reason for that. It's in my heart, just dancing in my heart. Later, I'm going to throw the question at you. All right? Well, Obara, you heard him. He said they have evidence as against what barristers said. They didn't see how and when they collapsed at the point of evidence, and they have evidence, but he said it is business as usual.
Thank you so much, my brother. We say I'm not a talk to you. I'm sorry, I'm still very, very glad. The truth is that I've come to realization that when something does not suit an individual, that process becomes very null and void. I remember vividly how my younger brother, Derek Owango, won an election and the process was paused and he came back again, and just in 1 unit, it was overrun, it was beaten, manhandled, and PDP won. As at that point, what PDP did was the best that has happened to democracy. The person that was beaten and manhandled should not speak. Now, it also not happened now that when judiciary said something about Natasha, the court, they said no. When the court also now said it was not. So you can see until we remain static to also believe the judge, the barrister, will tell you he's blind. Does not, when Wisi Omasha walks, he does not know Wisi Omasha. He can't see you. What you bring there is what he's going to tell you. So you, now that he's seen there, will now say, why didn't you see this one that I brought here? When it happened in Imo, somebody from the fourth becoming first, they started shouting that it was manipulation. But why are you not saying what the process, the people in the process, they are dollarized or nairaized the way you want to speak it? But when they tell you that what about Obapolo is wearing, it looks like what about is wearing is white, so there's no brown. Obapolo will laugh. If Obapolo is the one that brought the case, he will laugh to say, don't you think the judiciary is very good? If they can see that the shadow showing. So until we also start seeing that this country and this world is not for you alone, we see. The way ant head the heavy ant, and so elephant to the heavy elephant. If things does not come your way, Nigeria to burn, Nigeria to die, everybody must go down, and it's not good, it's not good. If it comes your way, ooh la la. There was a statement, they say, don't you see the grave silence in Edo? Grave silence in Edo. You hear human being, you hear human being. When a portrait is blocked, everywhere blocked, nothing. You see people. So sometimes I see that it's high time some of us start choosing our ways and our people to talk. Because some of us have been patient politically since 1999. That is why if I speak and tell you that this is what you don't doubt it. Yesterday around 6 p.m. I had the privilege of sitting with Senator Neda Imasue. We've not met since he became senator. And when we entered this place, all of us entered, about 6, 7 of us. He said, Abba, come here. I told them before that I knew him. They talked to me, Abba, don't talk again. And he said, sit with me in a bench, sit with me. When you come there now, I hear your father. We started talking. Before somebody then said, he really told us he knows. He said, yes. When he knew me, not way back. I'm telling you, somebody that explained my party. That's two parallel people. He goes to tell you where some of us are coming from. Because what we say, if it was, God forbid, I will not come here to spread judiciary. I will not. I will salute their courage for speaking what was right. So but we see that because this thing did not favor you, it is wrong. The narrative must change. It's not be you. We not go agree. We not go agree. Truly speaking, my brother, Very few. Election is not won in the courts. Very few. Election is won on your unit. You that is talking, did you win your unit? I'm asking you a very serious question. But Baba has told you that what he saw. So if you are saying they shed money, there are things you should be saying, not you didn't get it right here, you didn't get it right here, you want to not get it right here. How? When your house was scattered, nobody spoke about it. When of your movement, people that have not moved since 1999 moved. When the media man moved, it was irrelevant. Shaibu moved irrelevant. Or most of them moved irrelevant. That not be moved irrelevant. Wickedly support irrelevant. These are people that have been supporting you. You won first. Then you don't want the court to now say these people that are irrelevant, you won. That those people spoke. Who are the Edos? Are these not the Edos that are speaking? If Obedi Ahmad does not have a vote as a two-time service rep member, he should have a minimum, let's say 500, that he can control. Minimum. I don't want to exaggerate it. If Obedi does not have, let's say 300. Shaibu does not have 200, or be 200. I counted over 2,000 people, 2,000 votes for about 8 persons. They moved it to you with those votes. They are irrelevant. It's court. I want to go and speak it for.
All right.
One thing we need to have this ideology, me are guiding them. The reason is that some of us were already looking at retirement politically. So I can start advising. To me, I'm telling you. I'm not telling you. All right. We are guiding them because why? What goes around comes around. What they say, just like hit them back again. These same people, they will speak because they are PDP now talk all favor. Tomorrow when they come to APC becomes law. And when Facebook reminds them of their memory of what they said, they will be shy to say where. No.
I'll go back to you.
Because we are all human. The blood goes in our veins. We must keep speaking truth to power. If not because of what? Because of our children.
I'll come back to your barrier. I'll come back to it. It's getting more emotional right now, but please watch your emotions. Calm down. Just calm down. Everyone is entitled to their opinion. You heard what the Sosa said that sparked the emotions of Obaraye. Well, Elvis, do you feel that it's all about evidence or because PDP never had a case in the first instance?
Well, the question I would have loved to ask the judiciary is what technology were used to examine the evidence that they presented before them? But if you say someone's evidence collapsed at a case collapsed at the point of evidence, I've been trying to relate those two. There is a case, there's an evidence. So
there was a collapse.
The case died at the point of presenting the evidence. And the question I would have asked is, what technology were used to examine this evidence? In this same Nigeria, we have seen cases, election cases, go from tribunal to appeal and then to Supreme Court, and the other get justice. So we cannot just wish it away because somebody is challenging the outcome of the tribunal. We have seen these things before. In the case of Imo, the man who was not even in the process went to the court. The apex court and said, look, I am supposed to be the governor. And the court said, yes, you are the governor. He has done his 8 years now. So you cannot just wish those complaints away. Somebody has said, look, I don't believe that I lost this election. He went to the tribunal. The tribunal said, look, you did not win. All right. This guy said, look, I have evidence. Then they say, okay, go and challenge it. Because they know that right now, the judgment, there is the culture of judicial finality. Where the decision of the tribunal right now is the final position of that election matter until it is challenged. And whatever the Court of Appeal decides become final until the Supreme Court decides. So when the Supreme Court decides, the man can now say, all right, I give up, I'm going home to rest. I lost. That is his headache. The process are there. It is his right to do so. So let him seek it. But my own concern is this. Can we trust this same process? Can we trust this process? We are seeing the Supreme Court of Nigeria ruling against itself. In most cases. I'm not a lawyer, but we have a lawyer in the house. Ruling against itself. Supreme Court has come back to say, look, the position that we are given on XYZ matter is no longer tenable in this same country. So we cannot just keep quiet. What we are saying is, let's get this right. We have seen elections where somebody win, the one contending with him will say, look, he actually won. I am not contesting, I'm not actually contesting the process. And then he will congratulate the person. It has happened in this country before. But if the process is flawed, people will have to speak against it. And it is allowed. So when they speak against it, they go to try the courts. If it fails them, they keep going. Then when they get to the apex, they can come back again some other time and contest. But for me, if we do not get this process right, we keep having these court cases, we keep having these arguments, and we will never have an ending to it. We deserve better. Let us have technology in most of the places of this country. Don't take them out, because the analog is easy for you to manipulate. That is wrong, and that's our position.
Interesting.
Quite interesting. It's like the onus lies on the judiciary. People are like saying that what they did is not cool. How can a case collapse? Presentation of evidence. People are like saying that it doesn't make sense. What's my saying? It makes a lot of sense. In the sense that if you have an issue, you have to be able to prove it. As I said, it's like they were the one that brought the evidence, that they said it by themselves and given by themselves. So I don't really understand. Barrister Mano Bakbaloda, so many intricacies. And you're the one that said the law is blind. In this particular case, were they really blind? Or something happened behind the scene?
Some of the reactions you are seeing from the people,
Yes.
not just peculiar to Edo Tribunal, is because of accumulation of anger that the people have against one, the party called APC since 2015, because prior to 2015, what they told us, they made every one of us to believe that they are magicians, that they will come and turn things around for the betterment of Nigeria. They made Nigerians to understand that they will take Nigeria to El Dorado. They made Nigerians to understand that they will do things that has not been done before. But here we are. The story they told us is like a fairy tale told to an idiot in Alice in Wonderland. That is the anger. And you see, the 2023 general election, particularly the presidential election, is another anger. Because the people, particularly from this side of Nigeria, the southern part of Nigeria, I want to tell you the way it is. The southern part of Nigeria believe that the Labour Party won that election. But I stand to be corrected. I did say that in the northern part of Nigeria, where you have bulk of the votes, they gave it to the All Progressive Congress. For reasons best known to them. Call it religion, call it ethnicity, they gave it to them. And I think, to my mind, that the drama took place in that place. Now, coming back home, I think this is a wake-up call to every party in power in Nigeria. One. Two, also a wake-up call to any party who loses an election in Nigeria. First, I want to talk about the party that wins. When you win election, and you now think that you now constitute a gang of emperors, and you begin to maltreat the people are waiting for you. If the people are conscious, if the people have political culture, they are waiting for you. Now, we saw under the government of then Governor Godwin Obaseki, how at a point he was manipulating everything in Edo State, including, sorry for my language, grabbing people's land, and he was chasing land grabbers, and the people were watching. I'm telling you that he made more enemies than friends. Then it reflected in the elections. People shouted. I said, I'm not going to toe this line. I don't join bandwagon. Let me be more reasonable. How did it go? Thank God, I was privileged to supervise that election. And I saw all that transpired. So many persons expressed their anger at the ballots. We saw how it went. And when they said they were going to court, I did advise. Some say, oh, you that always say the truth, why are you not saying in this direction? I said, no, this is the cause why this thing went this direction. They say maybe you have been giving money. Because you know Nigeria, everything, you have been giving money. Money, money, money. We idolize money. Now, the tribunal has given judgment. To my mind, I may be in disagreement with the tribunal. I may also be in disagreement with the People's Democratic Party and their candidates. But I want to tell you that whatever happened or whatever happened to this process that we saw, you call it process, my co-panelists here call it process, but I told you that I refer to it as a style. We should learn a lesson from what happened. Right. The people of Edo State, the people of Nigeria need to learn a lesson. If you don't need the government, don't take money during election and vote for that party because you think that money will be sufficient enough for you for another 4 years. We will get the pain. I pray and hope that will begin to change now.
Well, thank you so much. Well, we want to take another break. This time when we return, it's all about how it's going to affect the politics of Edo State. We'll delve into the judgment, trying to see reasons why it went the way it went. And so we give reasons why his party is not happy about it. He said, how can you say we're collapsing what again, the term of presentation of evidence? That doesn't make sense at all. And of course, Obara said, look at what transpired. Why the result you got is truly what it is, because Edo spoke. Traditional institutions spoke. So many persons speak. And of course, Elvis is talking about the system also. Can we really trust the system? And Barrister Madokbolo is talking about the judiciary, the people, and of course, the process, which he calls style. Anyway, we'll be right back to conclude this discussion after this break. Thank you so much for staying tuned now. The last lap of this particular discussion segment, still on the aftermath of the tribunal. Let's move straight down to a source where, well, people are like saying that because of what transpired in the tribunal, there'll be a shift, a massive shift when you talk about political permutation in Edo State. The PDP might end up losing ground in Edo State because of the outcome of the tribunal. How do you feel about this?
Well, I think this government should find a way to focus squarely on governance. It's been notable that we can identify. I think what would actually make the PDP weaker, if at all, is the works and achievements, social infrastructural achievements, human capital development that this administration can gather within its lifetime. You also look at insecurity. Though people are nothing, in Edo nothing is happening. But that aside, you made a point that my party is not happy. You'll be narrowing the matter if you say that. It's not about my party, it's about Edo people. It's not about Asue Dalo and Osaodiongi. The vast majority of Edo people has charged these principal leaders to get back their mandate. We're looking at the people in Edo that trooped out en masse on September 21st, 2024. Freely for Asue Dalo and Osaodiongi. These are the people. It is Edo people that are requesting for the get back of their mandate. It's not a PDP. It's not Asue Dalo. It's not Osaodiongi. So we should also look at that. The party cannot be weakened. If this government were responsible enough to the yearnings and aspirations of Edo people, I mean at the home front, then I could agree with you that, yes, there are going to be some So if you as a person, is there anything attractive? Is there anything superlative about this government? Nothing. There is nothing. The other day, the governor went to a school in the village to declare state of emergency, just after Tinubu declared state of emergency on Rivers. And he did not declare state of emergency on education. Not one block has been laid in that school. What is state of emergency? It's not just about making a statement of emergency. It's has been laid. So I think we should do well to be less political about our discussions and focus more on what this administration can do for Edo people. But far as I am concerned, and far as good-spirited Edos are concerned, nothing has been achieved in the last 5 months. In the last 5 months, we've had 5 commissioners. The last lady commissioner that came has just been changed just a few days ago. This is to show you that the issues of insecurity in Edo is raging and nothing is happening. Issues of education, nothing is happening. Issues of socio-economic development, nothing is happening. Issues of infrastructure. This administration has no policy plan, no arrangements, no program on anything. So issues is not proactive. There are no policies, there are no plans. There are no programs. I don't think the governor has ever granted your request to have an interview session with him. I'm sure in the course of his campaign, he never came to your studio or he never granted you the time to talk to him because there's nothing to talk about. What can we talk about this administration? So it's not a shame. That's a shame, and people like Osao, my senior brother, should be seen to be ashamed to identify with organizations like that. It's even disingenuous for Osao to be mentioning who is NEDA. What do we know about NEDA? I think Osao should find a way to be more logical in his analysis. I appreciate Elvis, the Labour guy. He has been more objective and more logical. But where is Osao going? You are saying that a politician has 300 votes. You are indicted. On the issues. We have to find a way to focus on the issues. Osao is being selfish, he's been illogical, he's been subjective and all that. I am not to attack him, he's my senior brother, but I'm only advising that in his presentations, because the whole world is watching us, he must find a way to be more logical and more objective in his.
All right. Okay.
We are not going. Our party are not going.
I will come back to you. I will come back to you. But I wouldn't want us to go personal. I wouldn't want us to go personal
I'm
because
going personal.
Yeah, because he never mentioned your name. You started all this.
Oh, I have to mention
you started all this. Because I don't want this thing to generate between you and Osaho. All right, I will come back to you. Well, Osaho Korobari, you heard him. He said he should be more logical because of some things that you said is not in tune with it. He said it doesn't mean any disrespect, okay? All right, but do you feel that the judgment thus far is going to change the politics, or when I say the politics rather, or the political inclination in Edo State? Over to you.
Thank you so much, brother. You do this what I'm happy is that when you see your younger after beating your younger brother, he stops stopping not to cry. So I will not mention it. I get it, but the crime should continue. So I think what I also try to also guide him is that I think this is the first time he wants to test opposition. So not just the shouting. He still has the voice to shout now. The voice will be in the next 4 years. In the next time, start using description, no voice again. It will go up, you know. That's the truth. Some of us are used to it. Even when we are in the party, that is when we forbid to blow their trumpet. Give them and it has made us giving us pride that when we sit down, we cross our leg and we look at them to their faces to say, quiet, can't do this when we're talking. Because at our age, I'm not sure both the governor, we should be of age, all of us. So if at this time I'm scared of any of them, I should dig my grave. If my son was signing, should beat me up. What I keep advising, and I'll keep advising, is that if my son was signing, sat somewhere, and he wrote his name, they write their name, Osani, Osahon, Okobari, and they call him, say, come, who is your father? So, is he the one that speaks on that TV? They say yes. He took it from there, go and sit there. And he came back home, he told me his experience. And I told him, that's the reason you see your room, there's no condition. That's the reason you see I could not pay your school fees in this school. That's the reason why you see I cannot travel out. But that's the reason why you see we are still managing just to build that name. that has taken you where your mates are to another place to sit down. So when I leave, even without giving you inheritance physically, that name, you put it anywhere, you say, ah, come, your father did well. That is what we are pursuing. Not to now start speaking Latin when okay. So it's mine to say, as my younger brother, also try to build that. It's painful because some of you people will run away from you. I've seen friends that have told me, get out, that's why I think they pay politics, that's why I think they plan. It's painful, but if you choose that path, later it becomes a part of yourself. I can boastfully say here that there's no politician in Edo, no politician in Edo that is not my friend. Leave party lines. Not far friend, close friend, just where I am with you, Wilson. Just where I am with Abakolo. The exception maybe they are new, still testing the water. If they have been here since 1999, they will be my friend. And why are they my friend? Not because of if I meet them, I say, give me food to eat. I forbid it. I don't do it. I don't do it. It's because if I meet them, I put you to the table to say, come, this thing you say you are doing, you say you are tying us. So is that to tie road? If that was your road, if that was your house, will you tie it that way? Try to do things right. You are not doing it well. Oh, really? No, so they talk, you must talk your own. You know, they even like that. You just talk the way it be. That is how we are supposed to say it. So the process to me, what we see you also do, because some of you are the people that gives it all necessary privilege to start shining on top. Ask individual, who are you? They know who. What have you been doing? Don't you know, let me tell you, they'll go and first of all learn to speak English, big grammar. Use grammar to convince people. Me, I don't know how to speak. I'm not schooled. I speak Benin, I speak Pidgin English better than the way. From here, I'm sweating because you are trying to force me to speak English. I don't know how to speak it. I speak it well. We must listen. Ask them to say, you want to talk, so you. Yes. Give me your own before you begin talking. Obakolo has told you that he participated in that election, and this was what he saw. You are supposed to ask. If you keep asking, some people will start running away from studio. It's because we don't ask, and people lack memory. You see a man that told you Obaseki was the word to him, the best. And the day Obaseki forgets him, move to the next place. Tell you, no, Obaseki never said so. We know them, they know us. Just because of stomach infrastructure. Those people will not tell you government is bad. You that is finding first of all your own stomach. You that is not first of all thinking of how everything can be better. If some of us have done it the way you have done it, there will be no space for you people. Right. If you are becoming the one that will dance today in Labour, dance tomorrow in PDP, dance tomorrow in APC, I'm not sure things will be right. So we must continue. I keep advising. You can see of recent now, you can see the massive campaign that is ongoing in PDP. And one of my younger brother too that just decamped, I called him and said, didn't I warn you of this disgrace now? You have a child. This was somebody that named his child after his godfather. The love was so sweet that somebody, now I will not give a child a name. I will not say my child is Obakolo. Then after about a year or two, that child is still calling. I will not even Obakolo go and meet Wilson. That Wilson is not the new God. A child, that's Obakolo in your house. That child does not, you already now know that my name was named after somebody. And who is Wilson? He's going with. Then the next thing you want to go for Wilson. I'm sorry, don't say I love you. Now sorry my child after you. You are back. You are enjoying it. You are happy. Your child is already learning what it takes not to be straightforward. He's already learning it.
So you're saying there'll be massive decamping right now?
Not they will. I'm not asking they will. Your English, put it. I don't know how to speak English. Put it to ongoing. And not be they will. Ongoing. Mass.
All right.
Mass.
All right.
Very few people there now. Very few. Maybe one or two. You can see where the person is now. Only one person is in that place now talking. I get it now. So you look back, look for nobody. So they will be pain. I get it now.
Thank you.
And we are sitting at crowds everywhere. So
thank you.
It goes to show Nigeria way of politics. Now just with that as few. People follow the winning party.
Thank you.
That is their way. Not it will not going to change.
All right.
And don't also be expecting it in very nearby.
It will happen.
It will happen.
Okay.
Then when you not say, but I'm sorry, I don't know our politics, we dey talk, we are used to it, we don't move. You go, you come with us. Upper they go transfer.
Thank you so much. Well, Elvis, you heard him. The political permutation right now, we're through with analyzing a few tidbits of what transpired in the tribunal. Now, what do you feel will happen right now in Edo politics? When you take a look at permutation, do you feel it is going to be, like what he said, ongoing, the campaign, or it will be massive or tsunamic? Let me follow that word, tsunamic in nature.
Well, first of all, I would like to first react to what he said, the man on Zoom, where they mentioned that leader here, when he said he went to see Senator Nedamase yesterday, and he said, who is Senator Nedamase in the scheme of things?
Oh my word.
I
was able to take he didn't attack. You want to attack?
No, I want to, because Senator is my leader. I don't think that he knows who Senator Neda is. Because that's basically the #1 leader of the Labour Party in Edo State right now. Apart from that, he's not the senator of the Labour Party. He's the senator of Edo South, representing Edo South Senatorial District. So whether it's the PDP, the APC, the Labour, he represents everybody. Just to correct that impression, who is Senator Neda Emerson? Senator Emerson is not someone that I think he knows. He doesn't know him. If he knows him, you will understand that he's your senator, whether you agree to that or not. Now, moving forward from that, the permutation I see right now, for me, the PDP and the APC, they have the same modus operandi. Just like leader said, if it favors you, it's good. If it doesn't favor you, you are shouting. They operate the same way. We understand how Obasanjo ran elections in this country. Oshomole was a victim of that, who had to go to the court, and eventually he got justice from the court. So it is not just starting. That's why I'm saying we need to correct this same system. Both of them are masters at cheating the system.
Cheating the system.
Now that brings us to the Labour Party. Are we any different? The answer is also no.
What?
And I think we have more problems than even the APC and the PDP. And I can tell you, I have told Senator Nedamase on several occasions, I said, sir, what are you still doing here? Is it for the love of party or for the love of country? Because I don't understand. Many people, why are most of them going to the APC, as leader has said? Because they already know that 2027 is already being calculated and solved. I am telling you, it's a mathematics that they have looked at. They have done all the calculations around 2027, and they have solved it. So people are saying, okay, if I remain here, what are my chances? So people are looking at where they can have political future. The Labour Party has been hit more than the PDP. And so, what I can tell you is that the permutation right now, everybody is thinking about how to survive the 8 years, possibly, of Tinubu's rule. So, when the 8 years has come and gone, people can now start calculating on how to probably take a hold of their base. That's what is in everybody's head, every politician. And Peter Obi has also been very, very quiet, talking about merger. And yesterday there was on Friday, I guess there was a judgment by the Supreme Court on that. Which is also going to affect the permutation of most politicians going forward with the judgment that we had at the Tribunal, at the Supreme Court. People are starting to think, is there hope for us? Okay. Should we go where the power is, or should we remain in the opposition and keep struggling? That's what is happening right now.
I'll come back to you. Obare talked about...
Thank you very much. Thanks, sir.
Obare talked about, testing opposition for the next 8 years, if they choose to remain where they are. And for what he said, it will not be easy. Why some don't have the patience? You have seen some already turning code, saying, no, we are dropping this for this, giving you fantastic reasons. Do you feel that this will change the narrative? Knowing fully well that this judgment has been given.
Absolutely no. We find ourselves in a community or society where the average politician is a businessman. The average Nigerian politician does not see politics as an avenue to impact the people and the society where he finds himself. Instead, they see it as business. And that's why in the language of late Joseph Osamori, he said we don't have leaders, we have dealers. I agree absolutely with him. They are businessmen. And that's why they don't give a damn what happens. When party ABC wins, those in party XYZ decamp to join. However, there are few who remain. And unfortunately, those few who remain are being punished. Those who cross carpet, who decamp, who shift, see themselves to be wise businessmen. In a country where cookery is now equated with wisdom, what do you expect? Somebody is a crook. Instead of us to say, you are a crook, we say, oh, he has wisdom. That is what we display. And that's why you see, somebody like me can't join politics. Because I will not have that stamina to begin to decamp, to begin to cross carpet, to begin to run. Because if I run too much, I will fall. But these men have developed the shock absorber to begin to run. It's not just mass, like he said in his language. We are going to see exodus of people living. PDP will die in this state. And I want to be sincere.
But they may not agree to that.
I want to be sincere.
They may not agree to that PDP will die. He may not agree to that.
It's already dead.
What do you mean it's already dead?
Because
if it's already dead, how come he's speaking for the PDP?
Oh, they are still. But why do you think the candidate is choosing to go upstairs? Why do you think so? It's to still keep the people. Even the House of Assembly, you are going to see drama. I even want to ask my man from the Labour Party whether Leda is still in Labour.
Yes.
Hold on.
Leda is still in Labour.
Barrister, look, if there is anything, you will let us know.
There is a problem with us. And fortunately, we are the only ones that will solve this problem. And the problem we have in Nigeria today is attitudinal. Until we begin to change our attitude, we will not go anywhere. So whether you permutate, whether you make arithmetics, or you make mathematics of how the next political terrain, atmosphere is going to be, your mathematics may even be wrong, except you go to negative. All right. Because these men will go in exodus because they are looking for what? Stomach infrastructure.
Thank you so much. Well, they just nailed it. It's also said no, that the PDP are very, very vibrant, are very, very strong. They're going to the next line of engagement, which is the appeal, because from what they are saying, whether they have enough evidence, they've already seen the mistake they made, if any, in the tribunal. They're going to fine-tune it and represent or re-represent, so to speak, or present rather the case in a more sort of fine-tuned, strong-willed manner to prove that the PDP actually won the election, because they have said it, they are going for an appeal. Let's see how that would pan out. But as it stands right now in Edo State, from your own analysis, take a look at political permutation. Do you feel that many people remain in the PDP? Or there'll be a massive decamping to the ruling party, which is the APC? And how can the APC cope if there will be massive decamping to the political party? We are watching. Ours is to report back to you.